everybody. Happy World Primary Immunodeficiency Week. As you know, April is Primary Immunodeficiency Awareness Month, and I thought it would be absolutely perfect since my IVIG was next falling on today, which is one of the last days of World Primary Immunodeficiency Week. It's also my dad's birthday. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I have a couple of books. And if you have a new diagnosis, or if you have any kids, just write to the Immune Deficiency Foundation and they will send you a handbook, which is, I know it's huge and daunting, but please don't be afraid of it. It will actually come in so handy when you have physicians that might not be familiar with you or your child's condition, or let's say there's a flare and you have to go to the hospital for something, and this will help you a lot. It's a great guide. So, on that note, I'd also like to share with you some of the materials that you can get with the Immune Deficiency Foundation. This is called A Zebra Tale. It's a story about a unique zebra, and that's, who we are. Here we go. Also, there is a publication called Our Immune System, and Our Immune System, which is a coloring book. They're geared towards younger children to help them understand, how some of the younger kids now have SCIG at home, and it's tough sometimes to stay still. Actually, I'm manic bipolar, and it's very hard for me to stay still. So there's a big difference between clean and sterile. And me, along with most kids, have a very hard time keeping our surroundings sterile. So there are a bunch of books and stuff that are geared towards children, and here's one that's a comic book called Battle of the Bands. It's Jim Immuno versus the Ooze. And it's like a comic book for teens. There's an IDF preteen section. There's a young adults IDF section. There's an adult IDF section. And there are children. Also, I'd like to point out that in awareness, SCIG screenings, which is severe combined immunodeficiency disease, are not done routinely in every state. Please write to your local congressman and see what they can do about that, because the sooner that there's a diagnosis, the sooner that there's a cure. And unfortunately, SCID is so serious and so severe that missing that diagnosis could be lethal, but catching it early enough could save, your child's life. And we screen for so many things when babies are born. However, not every state is required to screen for SCIG. So please write to your local congressman if yours does not. Also, as an IDF volunteer, I got this beautiful pin last year for 2017. I got this letter that made me super duper verklempt. I'll read it to you. To our devoted IDF volunteers, dedicated hearts like yours are not so easy to find. It takes a special person to be so generous and kind. To care so much for your fellow man is a quality all too rare. You give of your time and talents for all in need to share. So thank you for being a volunteer. We're privileged to work with you. We want to know how appreciated you are, not just today, but the whole year through. Aw. Last year, in 2017, the Immune Deficiency Foundation, this is actually the Volunteer at a Glance network, there were 28 Get Connected leaders, 26 IDF Get Connected groups, which is the support groups through your own community. And they were held in 17 states, pardon me, coordinated 68 get-togethers, and were attended by 614 individuals. In 2017, the dollar value of volunteer services was averaged out to about $24.14 per hour. The value of the Immune Deficiency Foundation volunteer time for 2017 was a whopping $98,836.16. Volunteers worked over 4,000 hours, which was me too. 249 completed volunteer trainings, which was me. And as an IDF volunteer, you try to network and try to spread awareness because there's a lot of rare diseases. There are over 350 primary immune deficiency diseases. And like I said, if you screen them early, you have a great chance of having a great life. So stay volunteering, and if you know anybody who donates blood, ask them if they could donate plasma. My dad's been donating plasma, platelets, and blood for years, and it takes thousands of donations to pool the immune sources that we need in our medication, which is either immunoglobulin, which is through an IV, or now there's a lot of subcutaneous users. So there were 81 visits to plasma centers. If you'd like, visit the Immune Deficiency Foundation and find out where you can go and try to organize an event. And you know what? If you're in my neighborhood, I'll go with you. And this way we can raise some more awareness and about how plasma saves lives. I'm here today because of plasma. I survived chemo. I survived steroids. Haha, gastroparesis, I'm still here. And I think that I cannot describe how grateful I am for all of the people that donate plasma to help us, because you seriously are the reason that I'm still alive. So, on that note, I'd like to say, if you have any little kids that are having their SCIG, or if they're having their IVIG today and they need some help sitting still, it is time for reading a zebra tale. This time, we're going to have story time involving a zebra and To All Who Love Them. This is a tale from the Immune Deficiency Foundation themselves. Mom and Dad loved their new baby as he lay sleeping in the warm, sturdy stable. The soft hay rustled and the colt's eyes slowly blinked open. Mom snuggled the foal, and her mane tickled his nose. Then, in one big breath, the little colt bolted up onto shaky legs. That was fast, Mom whinnied. The colt wobbled, then walked, and then trotted across the stall. Mom and Dad noticed a beautiful black stripe on their baby's snow-white coat. It looked like a flash of lightning, so they named him Flash. This time, Dad pushed open the stable door. Flash bounded outside. Mom trotted out of the stable, raced ahead and laughed, "Catch me if you can!" Flash and his dad gave chase and caught up to her at a beautiful wide meadow filled with horses. Look at all of those horses. "Welcome home, Flash," Dad said. A little filly, broke away from the herd and bounded towards Flash. "Hi, I'm Sky. What's your name?" "Want to be friends?" Sky raced around Flash but did not stop talking. "Want to race? I've been racing with other foals. They're fast, but I'm really fast." Flash laughed and took off running as his mother had done. "Catch me if you can," he shouted to Sky. Flash leaped across the meadow, running between all the other horses. "I'm winning!" he cried over his shoulder as he heard Sky's hoofbeats. "I'll catch up," panted Sky between breaths. Flash reached the end of the meadow first and skidded to a stop. He did a victory prance, and began to cough. Flash didn't pay attention to the cough. He was having too much fun. When Mom heard the cough, she said, "I think it's time to go home." Flash frowned, said goodbye, and trotted away with his parents. Clip clop, clip clop, clip clop, clip clop. Back in the stable, Flash rested on the fresh straw. Mom felt his face, noticed it was warm, and said, "I think we'll visit Dr. Mark tomorrow." The next morning, Flash told Dr. Mark about his new friend and winning the race. Mom told Dr. Mark about Flash's fever and cough. "I'm going to look in your eyes, in your ears, and nose and mouth with a little light, okay? Then I'll listen to your lungs and heart. Okay, Flash?" said the doctor. Flash nodded. He giggled when Dr. Mark put this cold stethoscope on his chest. There's an infection in your lungs, Flash," the doctor said. "I'll give you medicine to take for a few days. Finish all of the medicine, get lots of rest, and you should be racing again with no time." Flash followed the doctor's orders. After a few days, he happily pranced to the meadow and raced with his friends again. Before long, Flash told Mom and Dad that his throat hurt. Then he was back to Dr. Mark's office. The doctor used a scope to look inside his mouth. "Well, Flash, I'm glad that your cough is better, but I can see why your throat hurts. Now there's an infection in your throat. I'll give you medicine to take for a few days. Finish all of the medicine and get lots of rest before you return to the races." Flash was not happy, but followed the doctor's orders as he watched his friends have fun. A few days later, Sky poked her head over the top of Flash's stall. "Hi, Flash." She stomped her front hooves and reared up. "I miss you. Want to race?" Flash whinnied. "Can I, Mom?" "Sure, if you feel okay," she replied. Flash quickly shoved open the stall door and took off at a gallop. Before long, Sky passed Flash in a blur of her swishing tail. Flash tried to keep up with Sky, but his throat still hurt. A few days later, the cough was back. Dr. Mark told Mom and Dad to take Flash to a doctor called an immunologist. "I'm Dr. Rose," the immunologist said as she smiled warmly at Flash. "I hear you've been sick a lot. May I check you over?" Flash nodded in agreement. Dr. Rose first checked Flash's eyes, nose, ears, and mouth. She listened to his heart, lungs, and asked many questions. Dr. Rose explained, "Inside our bodies, we have different kinds of tiny protectors that keep us from getting sick. They are found in our immune system. I'd like to take a look at your protectors to make sure they're doing their job. Can you be brave while Nurse Amy takes a little sample of your blood so we can take a look at your protectors?" Flash thought about racing in the meadow with Sky. "Okay," said Flash. "Let's do it." Flash was very brave as Nurse Amy quickly did her job. She thanked Flash for his help and scheduled another appointment. When Flash went back to see Dr. Rose, she patted his mane. "Flash, I know why you've been sick, and I can help you." Flash's eyes went wide. Mom and Dad stood close on either side of him. She looked at Flash with gentle eyes and said, "You have a primary immunodeficiency disease. This means you were born with protectors in your immune system that are not doing their jobs to keep you healthy. Have you noticed the black stripes on your white coat?" Flash and his parents nodded and noted that the stripes seemed more beautiful than ever. "Your stripes were a clue that your immune system might need help. When I hear hoofbeats, I usually see a horse. Sometimes when I take a closer look, I find a zebra, like you." "What? Flash is a zebra?" The family was amazed. Dr. Rose said, "The world is full of zebras that learn about their stripes at different ages. Medicines and treatments help their immune systems and help their immune system do its job. As long as your medicine is taken and you take care of yourself, you should be winning races again in no time. And you know, zebras can run as fast as most horses." Flash said, being a zebra might be okay. Dr. Rose gave Flash's parents information about his primary immunodeficiency. As Flash was leaving, he met a zebra arriving for a checkup. Her name was Hope, and she had known about her primary immune deficiency for a long time. Hope stomped her hooves and shook her mane, followed Dr. Rose's orders, and then, wow, she let out a piercing whinny. "You'll feel so much better." Flash was excited to meet Hope. He invited her to join the races in the meadow and was so happy when she said she would. Flash went home, took his medicine, and took care of himself. It wasn't hard to do. And Hope was right. Before long, Flash galloped out from the stable, out to the yard, and onto the meadow. He whinnied a greeting to the herd. Sky and the other horses broke away to race with him. Flash ran, his legs stretching, his hooves pounding the earth. Clippity-clop, clip, 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 clap. His stripes flashing in and out of the sun so beautifully as shadows. Flash's friends raced with him across the great green meadow. And the zebra was in the lead! The end. See, it's not a bad thing to have primary immunodeficiency and be a zebra like me and you. We might be different. We might have special blood. We might have different lives. But we all are together. And the sooner that you find your herd, the sooner that you will be a happier person. I love my herd. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I'm so thankful to CVS Specialty Pharmacies and Quorum for my home IVIG. I love my nurse. Right now I'm going to hit stop on the live recording because we're going to go do vitals. And that's really all it is that I'm doing, is trying to help raise awareness of primary immune deficiency disease, rare diseases, which I have way too many to tell you about. I would run out of breath. And to let you know that if you guys ever feel like you can't sit on the couch and you want to have somebody read with you or color or maybe even have a puppet show, I'm here. I'm Stacy Face the Zebra, and I'm proud of my herd. I love you all. Mwah. From my mask to yours. Happy Primary Immune Deficiency Awareness Week to the entire world. I love you.